Hello and welcome to my channel, Lazy DIY. I'm Tanya. If you're new here, please hit subscribe and hit that little bell so that you can get notified every time I upload a new video. I have so many new videos for you guys. The biggest problem has been uploading. The uploading is very slow. So I'm not able to pick a specific day because sometimes it takes up to 48 hours to get a video loaded, and sometimes, unfortunately, they just fail and don't upload at all. So I'm gonna try making some shorter videos after this and see if I have better luck that way. But today I have 4 thrift flips for you, and make sure you hang on till the end because the fourth one is a real big surprise. It's a 2-in-1 and you're not gonna wanna miss it. There's something for everyone in this video. I've got glam, I've got farmhouse, I've got vintage, I've got boho. So whatever decor style you're into, I've got something for you here. I'm doing the 2 fastest thrift flips first. And let's get straight into thrift flip number 1.
I'm starting with terracotta because I'm obsessed right now. And if you watched my Thrift With Me video, you heard all about it. This little jar has a great story. So if you want to hear about it, I put the little card at the top right. You can just click on that and it'll take you right to my Thrift With Me video. I have also included the recipe below in the description box for making the terracotta chalk paint. It's really easy and it lasts for a really long time, and I've had this jar for 3 or 4 months now. All you do is paint on a couple of coats, let it dry in between, and that's it. Instant terracotta. I'm holding on to thrift flip number 2 here. If you've been watching, you saw this in my thrift haul video, and if you haven't and you would like to see it, I'll put a little card up here in the right-hand corner for you. This one's fake. It's made out of plaster, but by the time I was done with it, it looked like the real thing. All it needed was a few sprays of a flat white primer spray paint. I could have stopped there, but I wanted to make it pop, so I took this little wood piece that I got at Dollar Tree. And when I took off the tag, it had this little hole, so I had to fill it in with some DAP wood filler, which is only a couple bucks and worth the investment because I use it all the time. I just let it dry, and then I sanded it down, and it was ready for stain. I used a medium wood stain called Early American by Varathane. I have always loved seeing white and this particular wood stain together for some reason. This was such an easy flip, and it saved me a fortune. Just some paint, a little stain, and a little hot glue. Coral is trending in every decor style right now. I am so glad I finally got some. We are already at thrift flip number 3. This little basket was only 98 cents. It was a little beat up, but wait until you see this thrift flip. You won't even believe it's the same basket. I started with this little circle ornament thing that I found at Dollar Tree, and I immediately covered it up with white paint because, to me, nothing kills the chill boho vibes faster than hot pink. I'm covering the whole thing by wrapping it in twine, but still, I was not willing to take any chances. I didn't bother finding the center here because I'm going to cover this up too. This is just the base for the next step. I used a combination of hot glue gun and just regular Elmer's glue because I'm one of those people that always burns my fingers. I wrapped the entire circle, including the sides. Then I used a shell that I got out of a bag of shells from the Dollar Tree store, and I cut them very, very carefully with these shears that I got at the Dollar Tree as well. I got a straight pair and a curved pair, and I use them all the time. They're the most amazing things ever. Once I got the bottom flat enough, I needed to find the center of the circle, so I just cut out a piece of paper, folded it over in half and then in half again, and just cut off the tip of the center. So when I opened it up, I lined it up and just made a mark in the middle with my pen. That's where I put my shells so that I could make sure that my project got off to a good start and didn't end up all wonky. I secured it with a little hot glue. Hot glue works surprisingly good on shells. If you're wondering where the basket went, don't worry, it's still a part of this project. It's coming up. We've got one more step. These shell necklaces I also found for 25 cents on that same thrift trip. I cut one of the necklaces open and then only used the small beads. I just removed the bigger beads when I got to them and started over like it was a whole new necklace. I only wrapped the top part of the circle. I didn't wrap the sides, but I think it still took me 2 necklaces. I think it turned out so pretty. This is going to be the center of my new boho wall hanging. There's more, but I think it was so pretty it could have just stayed just like that, which makes me think maybe I should do a series of them. I definitely need more baskets. The other two necklaces matched, but the shells on this necklace were larger, so I thought they'd be perfect to finish off around the edge. These grass skirts are from Hobby Lobby, and I really like the color of them. So I just taped them off and then cut just above the tape and then saved that part because I'm going to use it later to fill in. Cutting it this way was way easier than trying to cut it once I had this grass skirt attached to the basket. It's really hard to cut out a circle, and this way I didn't have to trace anything. I ended up using 2 child-sized luau skirts from Hobby Lobby. I wasn't sure how many I was going to need until I brought them home and basically wrapped them around the basket. My basket is kind of on the smaller side, and basically each skirt wrapped about half. And then I kind of overlapped the ends and just cut off the braided part, flipped it over, and filled in on the back with what was left over from the skirt. I just put hot glue down and then just kind of put the other straw over it and patted it down all the way around. I cut any extras off the edges, and here we go. Here's my boho wall hanging. If you're having fun watching this, please remember to hit subscribe and the little notification bell so you'll know when I have new videos come out. And hang on, because the surprise 2-for-1 thrift flip is here. This is thrift flip number 4. I loved this box so much, and it gave me so many ideas. I had so much inspiration. I just couldn't make a decision. So I decided to do 2 projects with this one box that I could use simultaneously. I used 2 coats of Waverly white chalk paint to paint it white, and you'll see there was just so much character left over in this wood that it could have really gone either way. It could have gone farmhouse or it could have gone vintage. But when I turned it over to paint it, I realized that the bottom was actually just a shallow tray, and that it was really a lot more fitting to vintage, and that the deeper side felt a lot more farmhouse to me. So basically I was just even more confused at that point about what I wanted to do, and I really couldn't make a decision, and then I just decided not to make a decision. It has 2 sides, so I just decided to make it so that it could flip over and be farmhouse on one side and then be vintage on the other. After the paint was dry, I distressed all the edges with 150 grit sandpaper. I took apart this foot roller that I found during my Thrift With Me video trip. It was only $1.98, and the balls were the perfect size feet for my display box. They were already a darker color, so I didn't even bother to sand them down first. I just painted right over them with the white chalk paint. But the rest of the pieces, including the legs that I got at Hobby Lobby, all had to be stained first. The little plaques I ended up using here for this project, they can be found at Hobby Lobby or Dollar Tree. You could also use any box for this project. You could glue together 4 signs from Dollar Tree, or you could even make a painted cardboard box. After I stained and painted all of the little feet and plaques, I just gave everything a good distress sanding. I used Gorilla Wood glue to attach the feet together and then to attach all of the feet to the display box. At Dollar Tree, they have pegboards with letters and little wooden numbers, and I grabbed a pack of both, took out the ones that I wanted, and painted them black. I also painted the bottom edge of my plaque black to give it an enamel vintage farmhouse feeling. I used Gorilla Wood glue to glue the plaque onto the front to finish up the first side. I attached these egg-shaped legs to the top of my box, which actually, when it gets turned over, will be the bottom of the vintage box. I got this plaque at Dollar Tree, and I made it exactly the same way as I made the plaque on the other side, except that I didn't put black around the edges. I was surprised, but the hot glue worked fine to hold the ceramic dahlia to the front of the plaque. I got mine on Amazon, and it's just what I had laying around because it used to be on my wall. I'm a chronic redecorator, so this is going to be a great space saver for me. And that's all 4.5 thrift flip projects. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please hit subscribe and hit the notification bell because I've got lots more coming. Thank you so much for hanging out with me during this time, and see you soon.